Hey, classmates. So, today we're going to talk about how to calculate rate. And my name is Adam Tinsley, and I am also in the 621 um, ABA course. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, rate defined, simply put, rate can be described as the number of responses divided by a relevant unit of time. And this is essentially how Cooper, Heron, and Hayward put it in our applied behavior analysis textbook. So, when to use the rate calculation. So, when you're interested in measuring the fluency of behaviors, and when behaviors have a discrete beginning and end, an example of behavior that has a discrete beginning and end is talking, right? Picking up a pencil, opening or closing a book. Um, First, you want to determine the length of time you will observe. You want to, of course, operationally define the behavior, count the occurrences of that behavior in that time that you decided that you want to observe. And then at the end of that period, divide the count of behaviors by the amount of time elapsed. Um, and you want to always reference the unit of time um, in in your rate. So let's talk about how to calculate it. So here we have a data chart. So this might look familiar to some of us. All right. So you want to use this data chart and you want to use the rate formula. Let's think about what this data chart is showing us. On in the far left column, we have the amount of observations that were done or our trials, and then we have next to that, to the right, the number of questions asked. That seems to be our behavior that we're observing, that we're counting. And then we have a time measurement. So how much time has elapsed while we've counted the behavior? And we have that in the next column to the right. 50 minutes, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, and 45 minutes. And then we have an empty column to the right of that, which is our rate calculation. Here at the bottom of the screen, you can see the number of questions over time will equal our rate. That's the formula that we're going to adhere to calculate our rate. So step one, we've already taken a step towards this. Is we want to identify our rate relevant categories. So here we have our number of questions asked, which is our count of responding, the behavior. And then next to that, we have the measurement of time in minutes. Excuse me. I have a cold, so you'll have to excuse the nasally sound. So another way of identifying count is looking for a frequency measure. So you might not you might not have it labeled so neatly like this, but you want to make sure that whatever the behavior you're counting is represented there. And the Cooper book also says always reference the counting time, so the amount of time elapsed in your rate measurement. I know this might sound redundant, but it is very important to your rate measurement. All right, so step two. So we're going to look at trial one. We don't want to mix up the trials. We want to make sure that we're measuring consistently, or we're taking into account consistently the number of behavior, the count of behavior that's associated with a particular time amount. So we don't want to use 120 and 40 if they didn't happen in the same trial. We want to use the number of behaviors that were counted in the amount of time it was counted in the same trial. So we're going to insert our count of responding into the number of questions, our numerator, and then we're going to take the measurement of time in minutes and put that in our denominator. And then once we do that division problem, we're going to get a rate. Step three is calculate. So according to observation one, we're going to put 120, our behavior responses, divided by 50 minutes, our time elapsed, and then we're going to run those numbers or do that division problem. That gives us 2.4 questions per minute. So let's do trial 2. So we're going to utilize the numbers in trial 2. So the number of questions asked there was 30, and then the amount of time elapsed during our observation was 40 minutes. So 30 divided by 40 minutes gives us 0.75 questions asked per minute. So you have the formula, you have the data chart. Now you try to do trial 3. Good luck.